On this AVNation Special, we look ahead to Digital Signage Expo 2018, talking with Andrea Varone about how integrators can get educated and why audiovisual integrators should care about digital signage. All that and more next on this AVNation Special.
The network for the AV industry.
What are you listening to?
This
is AV.
This
is AVNation.
This is AVNation.
This is an AVNation Special, Digital Signage Expo 2018 preview. This is an AVNation Special. My name is Tim Albright. I am your host. We are going to be talking about Digital Signage Expo, DSE 2018. Registration is open now. If you are not familiar with DSE, we have Andrea Varone from the Digital Signage Expo to talk about it. But real quickly, the conference itself is March 27th through the 30th in Las Vegas, actually at the Las Vegas Convention Center. The event, the actual hall is the 28th and 29th, but the conference itself starts on the 27th. All kinds of education. First and foremost, Ms. Varone, thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely. I actually got to hang out with Andrea for a couple of days in New York for New York Digital Signage Week, another really good DS event. So Andrea, first question, and simplest one, I guess, at least simplest from my end. Our audience are primarily, tech managers in higher ed, integrators, designers. For that audience and for the folks who love and listen to AVNation, why should they go to Digital Signage Expo?
It's really twofold. First and foremost is the education. We have a track dedicated specifically for systems integrators and installer types, just like your audience. So they can essentially buy a 2-day pass and be loaded up with courses that are speaking directly to them. Additionally, there's a lot of on-floor free workshops to help kind of round out the education part of it in all different topics: retail, restaurant, higher ed, museums, you name it. So I would say first and foremost, come for the education. Second, most important thing is come and look at the new technology. We have over 250 exhibitors. A lot of them this year are new, showing the latest and greatest digital signage technology. So definitely don't want to miss out on that. And I'll throw in there also for networking with your peers is another huge reason to come to a trade show, especially one like DSE that's so laser focused on this specific technology. So it's awesome networking.
So you mentioned the track, right? The education track for integrators. How do you craft that? How do you say, okay, you know what? Here is a piece of education. Here's a topic, or here's a subject, or here's a subject matter expert that can speak to and with integrators. When you say an integrator specific track, what exactly are they going to learn over those 3 days?
So our conference manager has essentially a committee of integrators that are out there touching technology and doing it, that help him craft the program. And so we also get a ton of submission of proposals. And so that committee helps him sort through all those proposals and figure out the best, most relevant topics for your niche, essentially. So you can feel good that it's very well put together, and it's going to be a wide variety of things that will speak to you in different facets of digital signage.
Okay. One thing that I feel kind of silly mentioning, but I'm doing one. So there's that. Now, when I say I'm doing one, understand what I'm saying. I'm not teaching a darn thing. I've got some really, really smart integrators, friends and colleagues that I have met over the years, whose integration firms also do digital signage. Like they have a digital signage, an experience segment of their business. One company not only does the installation and the design, but they also help their clients with the content side. That content side it tends to be a hurdle for the traditional audiovisual integrator. When they are walking the show floor, where should they go to get help with that?
Well, the easiest place to start is the Digital Content Theater. We actually have a dedicated area. It's also a pavilion where we have content providers, exhibitors. So there's education going on an on-floor workshop, and those are free, and those are all content related. And then you'll also be able to walk around that pavilion and see a bunch of different vendors who are strictly content. So I would make that your first stop.
Well, and the other thing and I'll put some links here to some of the folks that I've made contact with. There are content creators, right, on the show floor, which I found fascinating the first year I went. These are companies and organizations that help you, the integrator, get from point A to point B, right? They're not looking to take your client from you. A lot of these folks will do white label stuff. So when I say white label, that means you come to them with an idea, they're going to package it and they're going to create it, and then you're going to put your label on it, right? You're going to put John's AV service on the content and then deliver it to the client.
Yep.
The one thing I want to mention, the fact that when I say that I'm doing a class, I'm doing it's going to be a moderated session. It's on Wednesday, the 28th from 8 to 8:50. When you sign up, and you can do so at digitalsignageexpo.net. When you sign up for it, the class is called How to Go from Commercial AV to Digital Signage. Are you guys seeing more and more what I'll call traditional audiovisual integrators?
Absolutely. In the past, I would say 5 years, the number is continuing to go up. I mean, obviously our number one category of attendees are end users, but slowly creeping up are those integrators. I think we were up to about 36% of the audience were integrators, which is a pretty big number. And I think is a true testament to the education that we are providing. So you definitely want to check out on our website the full program, because there's just so much to pack in and go away with, feeling a lot more confident about digital signage.
When you say end user, and I've learned this over the years, so I'm going to ask the question. When you say end user, who are you talking about? The reason I ask is because it's different in each market.
Right. So it's essentially the end user of the technology across, we say, at least 20 vertical markets. So it's McDonald's restaurant, it's Chanel, a retail store. It's the actual end user of the technology that's coming to spec and purchase equipment to make their store better, their shopping experiences, more efficient, et cetera, et cetera.
So one of the things that I want to pick your brain on is when you and I were both at Digital Signage Week. Andrea was nice enough to be on one of our live shows from Times Square. A technology is evolving, and I want to get your take on it. And that is the instant serving of demographically relevant content. And our buddy Steph from Westfield was on talking about that. And the way in Westfield is they own malls, but they also have a number of digital signage networks. And she was talking about the way they do that. And yes, there's a camera involved, and for some people that's a little freaky, but they're not capturing necessarily your Andrea's picture. But when she walks down the street, and they see female, right? I walk down the street, they see male. They can guess on our ages. I'm not going to guess on either of our ages at this point, but they're going to serve up a female centric, or maybe one of their clients says, I want to talk to only females. So if Andrea and I are walking side by side, they're not necessarily going to serve up the female only one, but if Andrea's walking by herself, then maybe they will. Yep. How are you seeing more and more end users looking for stuff like this, and how are they getting it?
I mean, absolutely. I mean, in fact, we've seen exhibitors showcasing this type of technology now for several years. I think it's just finally getting to the point where the end users are ready to buy it. I think you're kind of seeing that intersection happen right now. And I think the integrators are going to play a huge role in this, because the typical end user walks into DSE and sees all this fancy stuff and doesn't know where to start. That's where an integrator, I think, can really come in and help with that process.
All right. One thing I want to talk to you about is you and another buddy of mine, Megan Dutta, who is at SCN. You guys are starting an organization called Women of Digital Signage.
That's right.
So quickly, not to be silly, but what is Women of Digital Signage? And don't tell me it's a group of women that deal with digital signage. And how do people get involved with it?
Yes, absolutely. So it's a brand new initiative. We're hoping to have our first inaugural meeting and event at DSE coming up in March. So stay tuned for that. But what we really just wanted to do, there's been such an uptick in the female getting into this type of job. When I first started with DSE almost 10 years ago, you could count how many females were walking the hall, and now you can't, which is awesome. So we want to bring those women together and provide a platform for networking, job research, and you name it. We want to just have an empowering group of women together who are of like-minded backgrounds. So we're really excited about it. We'll be posting a lot more information via email and on the DSE website to come, but it's Women of Digital Signage. If you're interested in joining, please let me know. And I'm Andrea Verone at exponation.net.
So does Women of Digital Signage have their own website, or they go to the?
And it's womenofdigitalsignage.com.
Perfect.
And we've got social media too. So check us out on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. We haven't really heavily started populating that yet, but we plan to soon.
All right, very good. One quick final question here: if someone is interested in attending, you obviously you go to the website, which is Digital Signage Expo.net.
Yep.
When they go there, I guess the best way to ask this is walk me through the registration process. If I'm a first-time integrator, right? If I'm an integrator and I've been an integrator for 20 years, but either my clients are telling me this or my employees are telling me that I need to get involved in this, and I didn't go to New York, so I'm going to go to Vegas in March. Walk me through if I was an integrator and I click on the registration button, what am I doing?
So first and foremost, I want to mention we have a brand new registration company, and our site is so much more user-friendly and so much easier to use. So we're very excited about that. It's going to be so easy. Once you get in there and put your name and information, it's going to ask you, are you an end user? Are you a systems integrator? So in this case, yes, I'm a systems integrator. It's actually going to recommend courses that you sign up for if you're an integrator. So we've made it very easy. There's also a live chat. There's very long hours of customer service people available to you. We also have an in-house attendee relationship manager. Her name is Tara Grooms. You can actually call her at any time and she will help you through the entire registration process. So, we're here to help, but it should be a lot easier than it's been in previous years.
All right. Very good. Last question is thank you so much. How do people find you or DSE if they're interested?
Find me at Twitter at Andrea Verone or Andrea Verone at exponation.net. And obviously our website has all of this information, digitalsignageexpo.net.
All right. Very good. Andrea Verone from DSE. My name is Tim Albright. For more information about us, you can find us at AVNation.tv, AVNation.tv. Thanks so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. This has been an AVNation Special.